Hello everyone and welcome to this little tutorial on how to use Zoom call. Anthony Haysom, background in IT. A lot of people know me as an IT and also a bit of a giver and helping other people to get the most from IT so they can help themselves. I woke this morning with a lot of people asking me if I can coach them how to use Zoom, which I will quite happily do by all means. So today I ran 2 Zoom coaching sessions on how to use a Zoom, and what I found is the content started to become quite pretty much the same kind of content really. So I thought I'd put together this little tutorial video to hopefully help you get the most from using Zoom to be able to help your prospects become members, or at least share the opportunity with them so they can decide for themselves whilst from the comfort from their own home. So before we get started, a bit of limitations about Zoom. Zoom works on a mobile phone, on a tablet as well, but you will have more features and more functionality on a desktop and a laptop, but obviously you need to have a webcam, which might be a rarity because webcams are built into tablets and mobile phones by default. So I would recommend to get yourself a decent quality webcam. I've got a couple of recommendations by Microsoft and Logitech, 2 decent brands. So limitations of Zoom, it is completely free, one-to-one for an unlimited time period. So you can talk until the cows come home, until the coronavirus has done one and left us all alone. So you're able to do your one-to-one calls with Zoom unlimited. If you wish to have 3 people or more, then you are limited to 40, that's 40 minutes of being able to use Zoom as a conference call feature. What you could do is simply go back to the old BT days of getting to your 59th minute, hang up your phone call and then pick it up and then remake that phone call. The great news is, a plug for UW is the fact that we get 75 minutes on landline calls, just saying. So what we need to do is get signed up for a Zoom account, because everything starts from there, and that's the way forward to get started. So if you go to zoom.us, as you can see in the browser there at the top, so you go to Zoom and you have the option here for sign up, it's free. So when we get to here, I have got a spare working email address which I use for testing all sorts of different things. So you would just sign in with your email address, which is what you would register with your email address, which is what I'm going to do now. So I click on sign up. So I get a confirmation email, go to that email address which I need to receive. I need to click on, because that's just saying that that email address is live and working. So I'm going to go to my email program now, wait for that email to hit my inbox, which will be through any second. Just going to refresh that. Excellent. So the email has come into my inbox, so all I would do is click on that and then click on activate account. Now what it's going to do is take me to the Zoom where I get to enter more specific details about my account. Now a lot of people have dabbled with Zoom in the past, and they've got it on their tablets and mobile phones, and therefore they might have Samsung Galaxy Tab A or Anthony's iPhone, for example, as a possibility. What we need to do is we need to make sure that we come across in the most professional way. So what we don't want to do is have our screen name to say, for example, Samsung Galaxy. So I'm going to do that as a test run. I'm going to show you how to change that. At this stage, it is essential that you make sure you type in your correct name. If you don't, for whatever reason, and you mistype it, it's okay, because we get to change that in a few seconds. So I typed in a password and then click on continue. That will now take me to my Zoom account. What I'm going to do is, up here is the part where we can do all the customization. You've got this little silhouette feature here. So you would just click on that little icon there. It takes to your settings of your Zoom account. So as you can see, I accidentally typed in Samsung Galaxy as my first and last name, so that's what my name appears as. So we need to actually change that. To change that, just to the far right hand side of Samsung Galaxy, we've got this little button here that says edit. So if you've logged into your Zoom account and it says Samsung Galaxy for whatever, please do change that. Click edit. So I'm going to change it to the correct names. And then click on save changes. So that's a name appearing correctly as it should do. The other important aspect is to have a decent profile picture. The reason why we have a decent profile picture is because I see this a lot when people join a lot of conference calls. They join the conference call with their video on, and they'll either lie their phone down or their tablet down, or so all they see is a screen or something like that. You can actually turn off the video. So if you don't want your video to be transmitted, you can actually turn that off. But it is replaced with your name if you don't have a profile picture. But I would always recommend to have yourself a decent profile picture which you use on your social media, LinkedIn, email signatures, that kind of thing, because you kind of want your face to be known for the things that you do. So to change that profile picture, we just click on change just here, and we get to upload a profile picture. Now I have a set profile picture, so I'm going to click on my profile picture just here. So it's uploaded it. And we can use these little drag and drop bars just to move the image around, just so we can get it in. If you want to crop it down smaller, you can do, or you can just adjust it accordingly. I've already edited my profile picture so it works. So I then click on save. So that's my profile picture and my name correct. So we are good to go. We're good to good to dive into the actual Zoom program itself. So let's download and install that. Scroll all the way down to the bottom of the page and then click on this little section here called download. When we get to there, we get to this we want the Zoom client for meetings. So we click on that. On Google Chrome, which is always my recommendation, I get to either save the icon or install it. So I'm just going to click on to keep it to install, to download it. Once it's downloaded, what we then need to do is actually just uninstall it. So you would click to install it and get it going. So as you can see there, it's installing itself. Now when you connect with your prospect, they will also have to do something very similar as well. So as you can see, I've now got this icon to sign into my account. It's going to minimize these out of the way. So I'm going to sign in to my Zoom account. I'm going to sign into the account that I've just created. I would suggest to tick this box here which says keep me signed in, makes your life a bit easier, and then click on sign in. So that's me signed in. I'm now into my Zoom account. And as you can see, I can see my profile picture is correct. It's up here in the top right hand corner. That is what will be displayed if I ever turn off my video, which is very, very helpful and more professional looking. Okay, so you've arranged the time with your prospects. You've said, okay, it's going to be, let's have a chat. What I'll do is I'll get the meeting set up and I'll send you the link across so you can join my video conference. So when we get to this screen as the controller, the partner, we get to click on new meeting. Now my webcam won't come up and that's completely normal. So what I've done is I've actually cheated and I've come up with some screenshots to make life easy. Okay, so that's what you'll face with, not my face, but with your face. Now, as you move your mouse around the screen, you'll see this bar appear at the bottom, or it might stay there permanently. What you're going to do is you're going to click that invite button. Once you click that invite button, you'll then get this screen come up. All you would then do is just click on that copy URL button. Now, that copy URL button isn't going to do a lot that you will see straight away. I'm going to show you that in action now. So I'm going to go back to my Zoom meetings. So I click on invite, copy URL, and at the bottom it says there your invitation URL has been copied to the clipboard. The clipboard is something magical. It doesn't really exist. It's just like a short-term memory, if you will. Now, what you need to do is get that URL to your prospect so they can join your video meeting. Now, it all just depends as to what devices that they use Zoom on. If they are using it on their mobile phone or tablet, getting the link to them is a little bit easier because you could send it through WhatsApp web, so web.whatsapp.com. So that's a way to get it to them. Or you could try and send it through text message. What I would recommend, and what works particularly well for me, is I'm connected with a lot of my friends, my prospects on social media, in particularly Facebook Messenger or Facebook, because I get to use Facebook Messenger. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to show you how that looks, whereby I would normally go to Facebook. I'm going to move it out of the way. I wasn't expecting a message to come through. There we go. So I would go to Facebook, going to move that out of the way, and let's say, for example, I'm going to invite my fiance Emily, just for demonstration purposes. She doesn't need to actually join the video. It's just so she can see what the link appears like. So I'm going to go to my fiance. All I would do is I would right click on there and then click on paste and then send. So what she's going to get on her end, she's going to get a link come through whereby she just gets to simply click on that link. When she clicks on that link, she will automatically join my Zoom video call and we will be side by side as a conversational piece, which makes life easier. I'm going to come off that screen now and let's go back to this one. So she will come on there side by side like we're having a conversation. The great thing about Zoom is that we are not in person face to face. This is a second or a backup option which makes life even better for us. It's a great way to still communicate with that person. It doesn't beat being in the same room because you get to feel the energy in the room and you get to kind of get that feeling, so to speak. But this is a second best. So once you've got them on your Zoom call, build rapport, chit chat, as you normally would do. That is so important, even if they're a good friend of yours, because these are a bit of a weird kind of times. So once you've got them on their call, what you need to do is you need to coach them through how to share their screen. So by them sharing their screen, you are able to talk them through how to go to certain websites, or you would use Facebook Messenger to send those links to them for them to simply click on to make life easy. So in order for them to share their screen, if we don't move the mouse, you'll see that bar at the bottom just completely disappears. We bring the bar back on and we've got this share screen feature just here. So what we're going to do is we're going to click on that and that's going to allow us to share the screen. I've got a few screens, so I get to select which screen I wish to share. So I share the screen just there. Now I'm sharing the screen back to myself, so to speak. Now at the top, you will be able, once you are seeing their screen, you then need to talk them through how to go into the relevant websites. So the first website you need to talk them through going to is to be able to get the information to look at the presentation. Now, since Utility Warehouse have made all these alterations with the domain names and the different website addresses, etc., it's making life so much easier. Even better is the fact that we've now got the presentation video fully accessible through a website rather than having to use the app. Personally, I found that an improvement because I found the app a bit cumbersome, because it introduces a lot of variables of I've got an Android, I've got an Apple device, my device is old, it won't install the app, do you uninstall it, do you reinstall it, do you update it, where do you get the app from, etc. So it becomes a bit kind of difficult. So by having these websites, it makes life even better. So the first website we're going to go to is uw.co.uk. You should all be familiar with this website. It's there for you to take advantage of. Now, the presentation is available from this website. It's just not got working links that are jumping out at us, but I'm confident that head office are going to improve this and make it so those links are available for us. But for those people who don't know how to get to it, after uw.co.uk, all we're going to type in is /presentation. So you would be talking your prospect through, so open up Google Chrome or Safari or whatever web browser they prefer to use. Could you go to uw.co.uk /presentation for me? So once they do that, they are then presented with a presentation screen. Now the presentation, it doesn't work on full screen. The videos don't seem to play. Head office are aware of this and they're working frantically to make this work, and I think they will get there because it's just a slight teething problem, but they are dealing with a lot. So what they need to do is they need to pull it off full screen. So what they can do is you've got this icon here to take it off full screen. Once you've taken it off full screen, it gives you the option to be able to bring your mouse to the sides here. So again, coach your prospects through on how to do this. Have patience, perseverance, you'll get there. And just encourage them just to make the screen sort of slightly bigger, so to speak. At the top here, you can left click and hold on that and bring it up. So therefore it makes it more full screen. Now all you would do is you go through the presentation process. I'm not going to go through the presentation process. There's a great video by Will and Hannah Grover, which has been made available on YouTube. I'll try and put the link in here somewhere. And they do a great presentation on how to do the appointment process and go through the presentation process on here. So quickly fast forwarding. So you've gone through the presentation and they have turned around and said, okay, fantastic, Anthony. I really like the idea of that. I'd like to save money as a member. Okay, fantastic. This is where you want to send them the next link for them to be able to log on to your website to ensure that they are your customer. In order to do that, go to your partner portal and you're going to scroll down. You're going to scroll down past the news and things like that. And there's a section that looks just like this. So you've got your summary of your position where it tells you your status and personal customer accounts, etc. But on the right hand side, what you're looking for is this quick links section here. Once you're here, all you're going to need to do is click on share. Now all this does is it copies the URL, the website name, like it did in the Zoom program. So you would click on that. You're doing this from your end, from your partner portal. So you go to your partner portal, you scroll to this quick link section, you click on share. When you click on that, dive back to the Facebook conversation. You would go back to the Facebook conversation and then you would just simply go back to the conversation, right click, paste, and then, so as you can see about that name, it looks familiar to you. That is my ID number, yours will show you your ID number. You click on that, they get the link come through at their end. All they need to do is they would then click on that link, and what it will do is it will take them straight to the following web page. So when they click on that link, it'll take them to here. The normal, standard looking utility warehouse website in all its glory. But there's a difference which you need to keep an eye out for. Up at the top, you'll see that the name here is changed slightly. Again, you will recognize your distributor number, and that basically ensures that that member becomes a member of yours, not just a general customer of Utility Warehouse. So what we're going to do is, at this stage, you're going to tell them to click on Start Saving. Now, we can't go all the way through the presentation. We need to stop at a certain point due to GDPR compliance and legalities. Once you're on this stage, it is important, do not tell them your login details to your partner portal. You're asking for trouble for doing that. What you need to do is click on this link here where it says click here if you're not with a partner. Now, you will notice at the very top that your ID number has disappeared. Now, please don't worry about that. That's quite normal. The reason why it needs to disappear is because if we all had our own ID number listed up here, it would make it even more complex for head office. The most important thing is that the customer has gone through your gateway. Your gateway is your distributor number. Head office track that very well, and therefore it is definitely your customer. It is at this stage that you can no longer continue the Zoom call. I would suggest that you simply tell your customer that you can no longer guide them through this process, but what you'd like to do is chat to them over the phone. So you would simply stop the Zoom call. So we would go back to there. So for them to stop the Zoom call, they have to stop sharing, but you as a controller have the option to be able to do that, and that's at the top here. So you can either do stop share, or there's a feature that says view options and stop the participant sharing. When you click on stop share, it takes you back to your side-by-side video. You could be tempted to carry on the conversation this way to talk them through the presentation. I would urge you not to. At this stage, I would suggest that you tell them that you need to stop this Zoom call here and now because you can't see any of their data that they're entering. So down at the bottom, you click on this feature here that says end meeting. It's going to ask if you want to end meeting for all, which it does do. It takes you back to that screen. So your customer, I would suggest you then phone them up, and you're on the phone to them. Okay, John, Emily, sorry. Because I forgot I used Emily. So, hey Emily, okay, I'm just going to talk you through the rest of the sign-up process just so we're all fully legal. Could you type in your address for me? And I would encourage you to have the same website on your own computer, just so as they are entering some details, you can enter your own details on your own screen, just so you know which screen they're on. It is so important that you don't ask them for any personal data, because we want to ensure that we are fully GDPR compliant. So as you are talking through the sign-up process, you are mirroring roughly what they're doing on their screen, so you're on the same screen, and you're talking them through the process. They are then submitting themselves as a customer. You're fully GDPR compliant. What I would suggest to do after that, maybe give yourself a few days. If the customer's not showing on your partner portal, then it might be an idea to contact head office and simply let them know that you did a remote sign up, you talked them through it, and you need to make sure that you're getting that right customer. I am confident that you're going to be correct. I'm confident that head office is going to be tracking it quite comfortably, and so therefore I am pretty sure that you won't need to go through that concern, but it's important that you know that you probably may need to. So I hope that video has been helpful for you. I hope that's given you the answers that you wish to do so. Zoom can do a lot more and is a lot of fun, especially in group settings. So I hope that video has been helpful. Have a great evening, and please stay safe out there. Prospect people, help people virtually over the internet this way, because there's a lot of people that need our help. Take care and look after yourselves. See you soon.